Ayo, what's up? Same game freak here. What you doing? How you been? Been a minute. Hey, I'm gonna stop. Anywho, I was going to wait until around Friday or Saturday when Splatoon 2 came out before I talked about Nintendo's online app, because it came out, I believe, last night, and then it didn't really start working until today, and potentially, obviously, if you don't own the game Splatoon 2, you can't really use it. So I was like, I'm gonna wait, but we've gotten a lot of reports from people who've used it. We've actually seen the thing in action, and I kind of wanted to just give some generalized criticism that I could make just from jump, just from what I know without using the app. And then there'll probably be like a part 2 to this video, because I'm going to beat the dead horse again, but hey, because, okay, so here's the situation. All right, the first problem is the obvious: why is this not on the console itself? But on top of that problem, which is something a lot of people feared, so we might as well address it. Not only is this thing bad because it's not on the console, this thing is bad as an app, period. This ain't even, some of the issues this thing has already is just problems an app on a phone has in general. Like, these are inherent app problems, let alone fucking Switch problems, let alone, it being a voice chat on your phone. It's like, dude, some of these decisions for an app don't make any fucking sense. And so, although the goal is still to get this app eventually on the phone, on the console, I think if we're gonna go through this beta period, we might as well make a list of things to fix about it as an app first. We need to make this thing competent as an app, and then we'll still be working on getting into the console. But the point is, it's a failure on both ends. So let's go through the list of things that are absolutely insane and stupid that need to be fixed just to get it out of the shitty app category. Because this is like, right now, it's in the shit. It's weird because I almost feel like this app exists because Nintendo heard all the complaints about the Nintendo's Wii U's OS being slow as shit. And so the way that they figured to handle that was to strip down the Switch's OS to where there's barely anything on it, and then add things incrementally. But they were like, oh no, that might slow down the OS. So, and we don't want people to get mad at us for having a slow OS. So we're just gonna put everything on different platforms, like fucking the parental app. That doesn't need to be only on the goddamn phone, but it is, with like some small settings in the actual console. The online voice chat app is on a fucking phone. It's like all of a sudden it's weird. Nintendo tried to stay off phones for the longest goddamn time, and now they're putting too much shit on phones. Console features don't need to be on phones, but that's a different story. Well, that's part of the story, but that's not the part we're going to focus on. First things first. Alright, so just to kind of go through some things that some of you may not know. And, well, at least not as of right now. First problem is, you can't have your phone screen off when using the app. Once again, this isn't even a fucking console to app problem. This is just an app problem in general. This isn't a Nintendo voice chat. It's like, dude, almost every fucking chat app on your phone, at least at the bare minimum, said, oh, of course you can cut the screen off when I'm when I'm on voice chat. Because that means you're intentionally telling me I gotta hook this thing up to my phone. At the bare minimum, you gotta hook up some headset or Bluetooth headsets to your phone, and then leave your phone on the table or on the chair, whatever the fuck, with the screen on, burning through a battery. Because if you have the screen off, well, then the chat stops working. I think that's the only voice chat ad I've ever heard in my life, or at least in recent memory, that cuts off if you have the goddamn screen on or not. That's just not even smart, power consumption wise, which is why I think those are one of those things that has got to be fixed from jump. The other thing, and it's the thing that makes the least amount of sense, is the fucking, well, on top of the stupid having to have the screen on the whole time, is is the fact that when you're using the app, you can't multitask at all. What? Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Like, literally, it's crazy because the interface looks cool as fuck, and then what tripped me out is how seamless it is. Like, I've seen Game Explain, and I think it was Game Explain, and I saw Spawn Wave demo it. The shit's actually pretty quick and responsive. It's not like this nasty fucking lag time between when you hit the shit in the game and when the app goes off. It actually is really fucking one-to-one. It trips me out that you can make the app do things like split up your chat for the teams when you're playing team matches and shit. But for some reason, you couldn't get something as simple as... That's literally the Nintendo way. I think at this point, that's like a trademark of Nintendo. Nintendo can make ridiculous shit seem simple, and then make simple shit seem ridiculous. So like you can have an app that can work pretty seamlessly between the Switch and the phone. Because if you've seen videos of it, it's actually like if I give this app any positive, is that it seems like the call quality is solid, and it actually works pretty quickly in between the chat between the phone and the Switch when you're doing it. But then you couldn't get basic shit like, I don't know, that I could put my phone in like a pseudo sleep mode, or at least have the screen off without it cutting out on the chat. Hell, you were even smart enough to go, hey, look, if you exit out, if you're multitasking on a different thing, even though it won't let you continue to talk, as soon as you re-hit the app again, hey, guess what? You can still chat. The chat is still going on. The group did not close out. How were you smart enough to do that, but you weren't smart enough to fucking... How were you smart enough to do that, but you weren't smart enough to have it where it could still work with the screen off? It seems like a weird-ass limitation that doesn't make any fucking sense, because you were smart on this really weird end on this side, but like brain fuck retarded on this side, and it doesn't make any goddamn sense. I don't understand. Like, it's literally one of those things I had to stop and look at the situation and go, how did you do that? Like, this is the most Nintendo thing I've seen in a minute, where this thing doesn't make any sense, like, at all. It has the technological prowess to know how to seamlessly and in a very quick, short amount of time do things from the phone, send a notification from your console to the phone app. You hit join on the game, it hit in the carrot, and the person pops up in a matter of seconds as soon as they hit join on their screen. The shit is so fucking quick and seamless. It trips me out how well it does that. But then you couldn't get dumb shit right. So those are the first two options, the first two big issues. Those are the things that need to be fixed. Period. Regardless if it's on my console or not. That shit is stupid. Absolutely stupid. Those two issues are issues in the first place for a phone app in 2017. Regardless of whether it's our voice chat option. That's irrelevant. As an app, this shit is stupid. But then we go into some other criticisms, and this is the one that I think gets people the most, which is the fact that it's game by game app. I hate this because this runs the potential. I think they did this. I think the PS3 and 360 may have done this. As I said, I've never been a voice chat person, so I don't know the specifics. But I'm pretty sure the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One just has a console-wide party chat app. They just said, fuck it, there's no reason to go through all this extra shit of having voice chat be set up for every game. We'll just make a generalized voice chat app for the console, and you're able to chat anywhere in the console. The problem with Nintendo Online's current app is that you can only do it in games that support it. And as of right now, the only game online that supports it is Splatoon. Even though you got Mario Kart, and you got ARMS, and you got other online games like fuck Bomberman, for God's sakes. What that really tells me is that this thing will have to be retroactively adding in games. You'll have to retroactively add in fucking ARMS, add back in Bomberman, add in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And you're also expecting third parties on top of already developing for your system to go out of the way to make their own specific fucking little box for voice chat for their game, which is aggravating as fuck. Because if nothing else, that little section at the bottom that has all the games that support the Nintendo Online app is gonna get cluttered real quick, especially if Nintendo keeps pushing out these games like they have been, and they really seem to be pushing the online. Most people wish there was just a general voice chat app, but the reason why I don't think they'll do that is because it kind of defeats the restriction purpose they did for Splatoon 2. Remember, Splatoon 2 is set up in a way that you can't chat with randoms, but you can chat with your friends, and you can also separate the chat with your friends, who depending on whose team you're on. But if you had a generalized chat that worked anywhere, it kind of just goes, well, then what's the point of having restrictions on Splatoon 2's chat, considering you can chat with anybody anywhere? I don't fucking get it. I don't fucking get it. Especially when you have a stupid-ass parental control app that has some features on the console and other features on an app on the phone. Why don't you just restrict? Why don't you just have it where the parental controls can block off the ability to use voice chat if the child if it's past like a certain time, or if the child's of a certain age? It's all you had to do, because it felt like you went to look, and the Splatnet stuff looks cool. I mean, don't bullshit me. I mean, I'm not gonna bullshit you here. I like that you're kind of creating these small little inner communities for each fucking game. And if they all have like their little side apps like Splatoon 2 does, it's cool. But the general voice chat app is just a thing that would be needed, period, because not everybody owns the game. Maybe I want to chat with you on my Switch, but I don't own the game. But you guys are playing and I still want to talk to you. That's the whole reason why you have the ability to have a general chat option besides a game-specific one. Because game-specific ones only was beneficial if you're all playing the same game. But let's say 3 out of my 4 friends are playing Splatoon 2, and I don't have the game yet, but I want to talk to you guys as you're playing the game. I can't do that because I don't own the game. That's stupid. There should be a general chat option. And obviously, a lot of you are going to still go, well, this should be on the console. Look, fuck that. I'm not worried about it being on the console right now, only because the app is bad, period, right now. I need the app to at least be competent before I start worrying about whether it's on the console or not. Because even if the thing was on the console, it wouldn't really fix the problems the app has currently. The app has a bunch of stupid little issues with it. So Splatoon 2 has its own restrictions, because obviously my biggest issue there is the fact that there's no general chat. The multitasking issue is dumb, and the fucking you have to keep the screen on is dumb. And those are the main ones off the bat that I can think of that are inherently a problem. Besides the obvious, it's not on the console. I'm going to try to test it out with some Juices Loose members this weekend and see how everything goes, because from what the footage I've seen, literally it feels like it's like I said, it's the most Nintendo app. It's an app that you would totally expect Nintendo to make. It's an app that's very clever in weird ways, but like completely dog shit in other ways, and it doesn't make any fucking sense because the way it's clever is in a way that like no one's done that. Like, I like the fact that the game automatically will split up you and your friends depending on, like, that's, I don't think does any voice chat do that naturally? Like when you're playing Call of Duty online, does the game automatically separate you? And then obviously it might. I'm not a fucking expert, so if it does, that's fine. But does the game automatically separate you into teams when you're voice chatting, depending on the team you're on, or does it not? From footage I've seen of voice calls online of Call of Duty, I don't think it does. I think this app might be the first time an online game's voice chat automatically separates you based on what team you're on if it's a competitive online game, which is cool as fuck. But then if my phone goes to sleep, then the chat just stops. It's fucking dumb. It's fucking dumb. You should have used Google Hangouts, and obviously I know there's more features coming, because remember, Remember, they kept talking about how this device is supposed to be set up for you to be able to make appointments with your friends and shit. Well, you can't currently do that because if you could, because there's no messaging function. But it also tells me in the future there should be a messaging update, which I can only imagine how you could fuck that up. The only guess I have is that it's a messaging function that's a half-ass variant, meaning you could type in fucking pre-written text, but you can't actually type in chats. It's like giving me a chat, but I can't use the keyboard. I have to use pre-written messages. And watch that shit come true, and everyone's gonna be on the ground like eat a dick, Nintendo. But those are just like the basic complaints I have. I could go a little bit further in depth, but those are like the main three that are just absolutely fucking insane. The general chat option, I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't come. But the first two, the fact that I gotta keep my phone on and I can't cut off the screen, and two, that I can't multi-chat, those two things that at jump, this app shouldn't even have come out with that. But the problem is you guys kind of backed yourself into a corner. To be honest with you, we're in rush season. Nintendo Switch is in its rush first year, so a lot of the shit we're getting is haphazardly. I mean, for God's sakes, we just got our first real app on the Switch. What was it, last week? Which is the Nico Nico app, which is just the Japanese streaming page. We're still waiting for apps over here in the U.S. So yeah, everything's a fucking work in progress. And obviously, I think the app will get better over time, but just to kind of get these things out of the way, we're going to get it out of the way. Also, the fucking Switch app has a feedback section on there, so everybody slam it. And Nintendo created a direct way for us to tell them how we feel about the app. And hell, they just released an update, which is kind of a garbage update for the parental controls. And what do people put in the comments, like under the comments of that particular update that they put out on Twitter? Oh, they're talking about the voice chat. It only gets better from here, folks. But this is kind of a haphazard. I'm just gonna throw this up on YouTube without any edits. Discord is in the description, so if you guys want to just chat and bullshit with me, I'm gonna try to set up some Splatoon matches on Discord. Right now, the community is still kind of building up. We haven't really got as much interaction as I want, but it's there for you to check out. Patreon, Twitter, Facebook, all that fun stuff is in the comment section below. I'm a little bit more active on Twitter in these last few months than I have been. So if you want to hit me up, you got multiple ways of doing it. So thank you guys for watching. This has been the Insane Game Freak, and I will catch you guys later. Woo me, my boys. Woo me.